The original idea about UK Acoustics Network came from the Research Coordination Committee at the Institute of Acoustics in the UK. Research Coordination Committee realized that there is a large but disparate acoustics research community, so therefore the decision was to bring these people together, encourage interdisciplinary research and to build up a critical mass.
Well, I can claim to have been there from the very start. I was at the launch meeting back in the Royal Society, must have been 2016, 2017, and was involved in writing the first proposal with Kirill, and I've been the co-director from the very beginning.
Well, I first became involved in the UK Acoustics Network when Kirill Poroshenkov came to the University of Surrey on a visit, and I'd had experience of running previous networks, including one on digital music. And so we had a bit of a discussion about one for acoustics that he had in mind.
In response to this idea, we organized a workshop in the Royal Society in London. That happened in April 2016. And that was the first step towards the development of the research proposal for the Engineering and Physical Science Research Council. That proposal was submitted to EPSRC in March 2017, and in September 2017 the network was funded.
So the UK Acoustics Network has been a real success story in the way that it's built a community around acoustics research and then targeted that community around the big, most important challenges of our time.
In 2020, just a year before the end of UK Acoustics Network, we realized that we need follow-on funding. So probably on a bigger scale to ensure that we can actually fund excellence in the form of pilot studies.
Those were specific things which created smallish projects, but they did drive more grant proposals, more research and more activity.
One of the first steps to take UKAN off the ground was to formally launch the network. In November 2017, we organized the first larger event, and that happened again in the Royal Society in London. We had over 100 participants. Effectively, we used this event to brainstorm for ideas, what network should be like and what we should be doing. We also used this opportunity to appoint volunteers to create 9 special interest groups, which subsequently grew up into 15 special interest groups. An important part of UK Acoustics Network operations was to determine where the research challenges actually are. So we had approximately 1,000 members. So we asked for their opinion, what are the key research challenges? And these research challenges effectively supported the allocation of funds from the research grants to specific research directions.
So UKAN's been good at generating lots of special interest groups around different areas, some of which are quite obvious to acoustics researchers, but others that are bringing in different disciplines and different perspectives to think about how acoustics can make a difference to a lot of the big challenges of our time, but also around the government priorities that have constantly evolved over the last 8 years.
I think what UKAN's done very well is to create communities. And those communities of special interest, which we call special interest groups, unsurprisingly, then actually created communities and drove ambitions, and they then innovated and drove research.
Although we had a large number of special interest groups, we encourage these groups to interact. So to ensure that these groups don't operate in silos. So we encourage them by giving funding when different special interest groups would come together to brainstorm for different ideas. UK Acoustics Network has a special interest group which unites early careers.
They've run some amazing workshops and residential trips for early career researchers to go on. They've offered them the opportunity to apply for funding, which they might not have been able to have access to either, and travel support as well to go to conferences and workshops. So they've been really invaluable in giving them that access to things that they wouldn't have otherwise, and also getting to work with other practitioners and meet people that they might not have done otherwise.
We also supported particularly early careers by providing them with travel grants. These grants supported them travel within the UK but also overseas to attend conferences, to present their work to peers and also to visit research groups outside their individual research.
So UKAN has been so helpful. I've applied to travel grants twice and it's allowed me to attend the UKAN event for the summer school, but also an international winter school. So that was really helpful, really formative. Yeah, it was really UKAN's funding that made that possible.
A number of our early career members managed to secure a research fellowship, which is very competitive and highly prestigious.
The summer school I attended with UKAN, they provided some training on fellowship writing, and I've gone on to achieve some funding through that. I feel like that has a big role to play because it's not always explained to us as you're going through how to do this kind of thing. So that was a really, really useful one that comes to mind. I can see the impact that has had on my career already, and that was possible through UKAN.
The early careers has been really important to UKAN Plus. After all, they're the next generation. They're the people who can take over from me. Whether it's helping with grant writing, public engagement, or just creating that peer support, it's been really important for them to develop the future acousticians.
And that early career researcher support has been fantastic. I've seen a lot of researchers in the UK really evolve from that support that's been given to them by UKAN.
UK Acoustics Network Plus allocated £800,000 for funding pilot projects. So ideally projects which are perceived to be internationally leading and also can lead full-scale grant applications to develop a new field of research. Specifically, we funded 18 pilot studies. So we based the decisions on which areas of acoustics to fund on the 20 research priorities which we developed at the start of the network.
So pilot projects were specific things normally brought by early career or early-ish career researchers, which created smallish projects, but they did drive more grant proposals, more research and more activity.
UKAN enabled us to run a workshop where we could bring together 4 international speakers, 20 national speakers, 150 online attendees, all to talk about the different perspectives around soundscapes and well-being, which was an opportunity that we wouldn't have been able to do otherwise.
We received some money in the first round of pilot funding, which enabled us to carry out some really quite speculative research in ecoacoustics and new ways to explore the dynamical complexity. So we brought together neuroscientists, machine learning experts and complexity scientists along with ecoacousticians to think through how we could draw inspiration from the way that information flow is measured in other domains to bring a really new perspective into ecoacoustics. And that kind of open-ended speculative research is quite hard to get funded elsewhere, so we were really grateful for support from UKAN for that.
We introduced a section on sustainability into the application process. So anyone applying for funding through the pilot projects had to say how their work might contribute to sustainability goals, focusing on the UN SDGs. And I think that helped people to at least think about it, even if they thought that their project was nothing to do with sustainability. Thinking about it can sometimes mean that you change the way you view the world and your research.
UK Acoustics Network appointed a number of champions for different things. So one of the champions was a champion for equality, diversity, inclusion. His name is Professor Simon Chandler-Wild from the University of Reading. And they've done an exceptional job in terms of promoting EDI values among the members of UK Acoustics Network.
It's promoted further investment from UK Research and Innovation and other agencies in areas such as better health and well-being, environmental protection, social cohesion, and targeting acoustics research around some of the big industrial sectors.
The fact that there's a Centre for Doctoral Training, there's some large grants, the amount of funding going into acoustics have all gone up is indicative of the quality of research and innovation that we drove.
It's brought together a set of people that really haven't been a community in the UK before. And one of the things that we've already seen today is about the increase in research funding.
I think it's been absolutely vital to bring people together, to actually develop that community. And it's great to see so many academics, people from industry, people from government, all collaborating to make the world sound better.
One exciting success story which came out from UKAN is development of the sound economics report. So UK Acoustics Network teamed up with the Institute of Acoustics and study the size of the acoustics industry in the UK and the importance of the research for the success of this industry.
So the sound economics report was aimed at policymakers, but constructive to try to understand what is the monetary value of acoustics to the UK economy. And that's a question that never really been asked before and certainly hadn't been quantified before.
We established actually that UK acoustics industry is a multi-billion industry. Specifically, it's about 4.6 billion turnover in 2019. It employs about 16,000 people. It brings together approximately 1,000 companies. Another success story was putting together a competitive grant application for the Tomorrow Engineering Research Challenges Noise Network sponsored by EPSRC. This network is led by Professor Mark Plumley from Surrey University in Guildford, and it is going to bring together members of UK Acoustics Network working in the area of noise and soundscape. UK Acoustics Network has a big legacy. Biggest legacy is our membership, which is approximately 2,000 members. So our website is a main resource and people interact via this website. So it is acoustics.ac.uk. We work very actively and closely with the UK Institute of Acoustics, who is going to support our members for the foreseeable future.
We're very supportive of a whole range of academic courses. We have provided support for the UKAN pursuit of the Centre for Doctoral Training. We're very keen to make sure that not only do we put on our own courses, but we support acoustics education wherever it takes place.
One of the greatest legacies from the UK Acoustics Network is its membership. It's about 2,000 members. Half of them are academic, half of them non-academic. This membership also includes particularly enthusiastic figures who lead our special interest groups, and they support our networking events by giving their time. They also encourage new members to come in to join UK Acoustics Network and the Institute of Acoustics, so to make this network grow in the future.
We look forward to seeing how the special interest groups in UKAN can potentially be merged into or collaborate with our groups in the IOE.
UKAN made it clear to the Institute of Acoustics that there are many, many people working in acoustics research. And according to the recent data, about 50% of UKAN's membership are members of the Institute, but that does mean there's 50% who aren't. We have recently set up a special membership grade for research members of the Institute of Acoustics. And they are eligible, whilst they're doing their acoustic research, to become members of the Institute, become part of our family, and hopefully when they finish their research, will easily find work in the acoustics community in some form or another.
I'd like to hope that the spirit of UKAN will continue, both through the investments that they've managed to secure recently, but also through the stewardship of the Institute of Acoustics, and bringing together those different disciplines and different perspectives from other networks. Because acoustics affects all of us in some way, whether it's through sound or vibration. And I think the UKAN's done a great job of consolidating that around the big challenges of our time. Those will obviously continue as we go into the future. After the end of funding for our network in July 2025, we'll do our best to continue the growth of acoustics-related research in the UK. We monitor what's going on with the acoustics research funding. We just make sure that we use the network we build up to put together competitive bids which put acoustics research in the world leading class in the UK.